All right, so knee injury number 2, same knee, different injury. Basically what happened here is it was a chairlift injury. So I was snowboarding at what here in Saskatchewan we call Table Mountain, which is not a mountain, it's literally a hill with a chairlift on it. And so I was waiting to get on the chairlift. I had 2 gentlemen in front of me and 1 behind me. Didn't know the guy behind me. And I was on my snowboard, so when I am snowboarding, some context is that I go left foot forward, which means that when I go to get on a chairlift, my left foot is strapped into my snowboard, my right foot is free and back behind me. And now we had a giant dump of snow just overnight and that morning, and so the chairlift was actually really low, probably the lowest I've ever seen in terms of it being low to the ground when it picks you up. And so what happened is just before the chairlift came to pick us up, the gentleman behind me took a step back. He and I were back to back, and he ended up stepping on my snowboard, which then got caught underneath the chairlift. So as I went to get on the chairlift, my board got stuck. And when you go to sit down with my left foot facing forward, I'm rotated and going to sit down, but my board was stuck and so I couldn't. And I couldn't move my left ankle, which was kind of pinned between the chairlift and the ground. And then the chairlift, the seat of the chair actually came and hit me right below the crease of my knee, right on the back side. And so it basically pushed my tibia forward. So I had an ACL injury. And if you look at my MRI report, it doesn't say what extent my ACL is compromised, but I know I have a partial ACL tear. Like I said in my last post, if we have a connective tissue or passive tissue like a ligament and we want it to adapt, we have to introduce a mechanical message into that passive connective tissue so that it knows to adapt over time. So I need to start progressively straining my ACL to induce that adaptation. And the way that I'm going about that is by using a folded up towel. Now, what I'm doing is I'm taking a small folded up towel, placing it behind my knee, so right in the back of my knee pit or my knee crease, and then I'm bringing myself into full knee flexion. And then I'm slowly starting to produce a regressive angle isometric, or i.e. I'm slowly starting to try to flex and bend my knee with that towel, and that towel creates a fulcrum. And so what ends up happening is it puts a little bit of strain into my ACL, and what feels like happening, or what I feel happening, is it feels like my tibia is being encouraged forward just a little bit. Not enough that it causes me pain or anything like that. Now with this, I need to make sure that I induce or introduce enough force or strain into my ACL such that I create an adaptation, but not so much that I exceed the current load-bearing capacity of my ACL. So a few variables that I can play with there are the size of the towel. So the larger that the towel gets over time, the bigger the fulcrum, and then the more strain on my ACL. And also, of course, the amount of force that I'm producing. So less force means if I'm squeezing less hard, I'm going to get a little less force going through that ACL. As I squeeze harder and harder, I introduce more and more force over time. Whenever you watch one of my videos, make sure to check the description below the video because I'll always drop links to related videos, links to exercises that would go well with the one that you just finished watching, links to free mobility classes, ebooks, and to my ever-growing library of full-length training videos. Additionally, if you found this specific video helpful, please let me know by hitting the like button below, and that'll send me the message that you want to see more videos like this one. You can also subscribe to be notified when new videos like this one are available. And if there's something specific that you want to see a video on, just let me know in the comments below and we'll try and make that happen. Otherwise, take care and we'll see you in the next one.